The phone rang on a Tuesday, 3 years to the day after I buried my husband. I'm Margaret, 58, widow. I live in the same house David and I bought 30 years ago. I still make coffee for 2 every morning. Force of habit. Mrs. Reynolds? A man's voice said. This is Attorney Harold Pierce. I handled your husband's estate. I'm calling about a sealed envelope Mr. Reynolds left with me. My hand went cold on the phone. Sealed envelope? David never mentioned. He instructed me not to open it, Mr. Pierce said. Not until 3 years had passed. Today is the day. 3 years. Like David knew exactly when I'd be strong enough. Or weak enough. I hadn't heard David's name in a legal context since the funeral. Since the will. Since the house and the small insurance policy and the goodbye. Can you come to my office? The attorney asked. Or I can mail it, but I think you should hear this in person. That sentence broke something in me. Not grief, fear. Because David wasn't the type for secrets. He was direct. He was open. He was my best friend. Unless I never really knew him. I drove to the attorney's office with shaking hands. The whole way I thought, what secret takes 3 years to tell? What truth needs time to soften the blow? Mr. Pierce was an old man with kind eyes. He handed me an envelope. Cream paper, David's handwriting, my name. No stamp, no date, just sealed. This is from your husband, he said. He wrote it 2 weeks before the cancer took him. He said, tell Margaret in 3 years, not before. She needs time to breathe first. I held the envelope. It felt heavy, like a stone. Like a goodbye I wasn't ready for. Do you know what's inside? I whispered. He shook his head. He made me promise. Not even me. I drove home. Envelope on the passenger seat. I parked in my driveway and stared at it for an hour. Rain started. But what I didn't know that day, holding David's last secret in my hands, was that the letter wasn't about me. Until everything changed when I opened the seal and read the first line. Margaret, if you're reading this, I lied to you about everything. Lied about everything. Those 4 words shattered my world. I didn't open the rest. Not right away. I put the envelope on the kitchen table, stared at it, made coffee, stared again. David lied. My David. The man who held my hand through chemo, who promised forever at 25 and kept it for 33 years, who died saying, I love you, as his last breath. For 3 days, the envelope sat there, unopened, like a bomb. Then I read it, line by line, with tears falling on David's handwriting. He wrote that 15 years ago, before we lost our baby, he had an affair, one night, one mistake, with his co-worker Claire. I ended it, he wrote. I begged her to disappear. I thought it was over. I thought I could live with the guilt. But Claire didn't disappear. She had a child, a son, born 9 months after that night. David knew. For 15 years he knew, and he paid child support in secret, every month, from a hidden account. Claire threatened to tell you, he wrote. I was a coward. I chose silence over honesty. I chose protecting our marriage over your right to truth. I couldn't breathe. The house felt smaller. The walls closed in. My marriage, built on a lie. My grief, tainted. Every anniversary, every I love you, every memory. Was it real? I was broken. Not just from his death, from his secret. From 15 years of pretending. I called Claire, found her number through old emails David never deleted. Did you know? I asked, voice shaking. She was quiet. Then, I'm sorry, Margaret. He loved you. He really did. He was terrified of losing you. Terrified. So he chose lying instead. For weeks, I didn't leave the house. I looked at wedding photos and wondered which smiles were real. I looked at our bank statements and saw the money he sent her, hidden in investment losses. The betrayal wasn't the affair. It was 15 years of silence. 15 years of me thinking we had no secrets. I was angry. At David. At Claire. At myself for never suspecting. But then I read the last page of the letter. David wrote, "I don't expect forgiveness. I just needed you to know the truth before I die. And I needed you to know this. The boy. His name is Daniel. He's 14 now. And Margaret. He has your eyes. He looks like you did at that age. And he deserves better than secrets. If you can find it in your heart, meet him. Not for me. For him. My son. David's son. Living 20 minutes away. A boy with my eyes. Pain turned into something else. Not forgiveness. Not yet. But purpose. I wasn't just a widow grieving anymore. I was a woman deciding what to do with truth. I didn't seek revenge. I sought answers. I met Daniel on a Saturday. At a coffee shop. Neutral ground. He was tall. Lanky. 14 years old with David's smile in my eyes. Just like the letter said. He didn't know who I was. Claire hadn't told him. "Hi, Daniel," I said. "I'm Margaret. I was your father's wife." He froze. I know about you. Mom told me last year. We talked for 3 hours. About David. About missing him. About being afraid to love because of secrets. I didn't yell. I didn't blame him. He was a child in this. Just like I was. My revenge wasn't against Daniel. It was against the secret itself. I exposed it. I faced it. I refused to let David's lie keep destroying us even after death. I told Daniel, "Your father was flawed, but he loved you, and he loved me, in his own broken way." Then I did something David never expected. I included Daniel in my will, equal share with my niece. Not because I had to, because he was David's son, and because secrets end when someone chooses truth. Claire called me later, crying. "I thought you'd hate us." "I did," I said, "for a while. But hate is just grief with nowhere to go. And I'm tired of grief." The sealed envelope didn't destroy me. It freed me. It exposed the lie so I could finally breathe real air. David's consequence wasn't my anger. It was living 15 years with guilt he could never outrun. It was knowing he'd hurt me from the grave. Moral. Love doesn't mean perfection. Marriage doesn't mean no mistakes. But trust dies in silence. David thought he protected me with secrets. But protection without truth is just another prison. I learned this. The truth might shatter you for a moment, but lies destroy you for a lifetime. 3 years later, his sealed secret gave me back my power. Because a woman who knows the truth can finally choose peace. And peace, not revenge, is the justice that heals.